Howdy, folks. Welcome to this week's Ag Report from the tractor seat. So this week, I thought we would talk a little bit further about eggs and the price of eggs. And I can see some of y'all out in the field raising your hands, going, "I know the answer to this. I know why they're at this high price, or what's contributing to that." And you're correct. We talked back in always February, March, April, back in through there. We talked a couple of times about fuel prices and what that effect would be, fertilizer prices and what that effect would be. And so, as we have talked on this show several times about, agriculture is not necessarily a knee-jerk reaction or a very quick thing. It takes time. It takes time to plant a crop. It takes time to harvest the crop. It takes time for that crop to get into the food system, food chain, that kind of stuff. So it's always kind of a slow burn process. And I believe what we are seeing now with these record high egg prices is a culmination of all these building blocks. So we'll review just a little bit for a second, and then we'll kind of move forward. So the main contributing factors to the eggs. Let's start with diesel fuel. Now, I specifically say diesel fuel, okay? Those of you that drive gasoline-powered vehicles, you have noticed some relief in that gas price, okay? It has come down. It's running anywhere in that $2.93 a gallon price off of the high. But remember, gasoline is not how they move eggs. It's diesel. Diesel is in the trucks that moves the eggs. Diesel is in the tractors that produce the feed for the eggs, and so on and so forth. Diesel really hasn't come down. It hit $5.50 a gallon, I think, is the high. It's still bouncing around $4.50 a gallon. You can find it some places maybe at $4.10, but you can drive across the street and it'd be 50 cents higher. So that is a huge factor in there. Fertilizer, we talked about. Fertilizer hit $1,200 a ton in 22 from 21 of around $400 a ton. We talked about what kind of effect that would have. It's fertilizer to make feed to keep a healthy chicken to make a healthy egg. So that really hasn't changed a whole lot. So you've got that, plus we talked about in March the first cases of avian flu, bird flu, which there is no cure for. Once a flock gets that, they all perish. And there has been, I believe, 57 million birds in the U.S. Die from that just this year. So you add all those things together, and that's kind of where we're coming from and where we're at. Now, this is not just a U.S. thing. This is over Europe and the rest of the world as well. In Europe, so I saw a report just this week from an egg producer there. And what is going on there, they actually, not only do they have high prices, but they have empty shelves. Now, the empty shelves part is because, according to this egg producer, this egg farmer, he says that the stores have raised their prices, arguably because of all of the things that I just mentioned to you about. But he said they are not passing that price down to the producer, that they are still getting the same wholesale price on the farm for their eggs. And that doesn't work. They're producing at a loss, meaning everything they sell at that wholesale price, they're losing money on. And that the retail chains there refuse to pay them a higher wholesale price to compensate for fertilizer, for fuel, for inflation, for all those things. So what they have done in Europe is they have cut production by 6 million birds. Now, they were already at a 3 million egg deficit, meaning in the United Kingdom, they do not produce enough eggs period, and they have to import 3 million eggs just to stay even. So now you take 6 million out because he said that is they have ordered less chickens in, so their production is going to be less by 6. So now they're looking at 9 million egg shortage. Now, for them, until that price disparity, gets taken care of, and they get a price that they're not losing money for, I don't see, any cure for that. For us here in America, it's kind of the same thing until the diesel fuel goes back down to, $3 a gallon, back where production used to be, until fertilizer goes from 1,200 back down to, 400, something like that. And until this 9% plus inflation, monthly inflation rate settles out, I don't see mathematically how the producers can produce any less. All of these factors have to lower so that the production costs for the farmers are lower until they are able to sell a lower priced product. So that's kind of the things that have to change there. And then we also have to kind of have a break in this avian flu epidemic that is kind of going on there. So, you ask, well, what can you do? Well, unfortunately, it looks like those higher prices are going to be here till those things kind of change, till the economics of the situation change. But like we said, not too long ago, you're having to invest, a lot of your money. Try and shop with folks local. Invest your money with your local folks, because it's more important to your local people than it is the national chains. It'll make a bigger difference in their life purchasing local. So I'd encourage you, whether you're talking about eggs, you're talking about meats or chickens or whatever it is, honey, whatever it is that you're looking for, it's all costing more money, and it's going to do that. So I would encourage you to invest that money in your local economy, in your local folks. It'll make the biggest difference. So I hope this ag report from the tractor seat has kind of refreshed some of those memories that we talked about months ago. If it's news to you, then maybe hopefully this will give you maybe a little bit of an aha moment of, that kind of makes sense of why these building blocks have been building up to this high hurdle of an egg price and other prices for that. Y'all take care now.